Some
It's been a long
people
time
have
since I've really been in it.
yeah, some people have a low threshold on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What trouble is, what trouble isn't. How
Trouble's
trouble
visiting us.
visits you.
We're finally live, and that's no trouble. But we're in trouble.
Well,
Talking
it was
about
it was
trouble.
trouble this morning getting there. That's for sure. Good morning,
We'll
Michael
make it.
Knight. How
Good
in
morning,
Pasadena? How are you?
How's everything in Washington, New York, Vinnie? Good to see your face.
Good to see you too. Cold. It's cold. It's a little warmer than it was overnight.
But then I can
you
make
know,
you feel terrible. It's going to be 80 degrees here today.
Michael, it doesn't make me feel terrible. It just makes me feel stupid because I should be in that weather. I should be um, down there in Southern California or someplace warmer. And I just, maybe I'm just too lazy to get off my ass and do it. Maybe I love Seattle more than I thought I did.
I think you
I
probably
don't
do.
know.
Seattle's easy to love.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the what the situation is, but I mean, there would be a lot of things worth me going down there for, that's for sure. But it's been a rather nice winter up here. I mean, we haven't had snow, or at least any to really um, moan about.
You didn't get the snow you were supposed to get last week.
Now we didn't get it down here. They got some up in the hills and out in different places, but we didn't get anything like we were going to get. I mean, at worst, the roads were wet and slippery, but nothing really.
I got a 30-pound animal on my lap. I don't know if you can see him.
No.
Say hello. There's his little face.
Teach it to talk, and it could do another hour of the show. We could do a second hour with the cat. Anyway,
and now here's the cat.
Here's the cat. And it would probably make more sense than we do. How did you miss me on Monday? I mean, I had stomach problems.
I did. I was all ready to go, and then we got the word that you were not well. I'm sorry about that, but you're back in the pink.
Yeah. By the way, I got to show you the shirt that I got for a present from my godson and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law.
Bay City baseball, baby.
You can see that.
I don't know what the results were yesterday, but as of yesterday, the Giants were undefeated in spring training.
You did not see the triple play?
I did see the triple play. That was the day before, I think.
Oh, that was Sunday. Okay. I might be missing a day here or there.
It's not easy to have a triple play that starts in right field.
Yeah, that was without a doubt one of the stranger things I've seen in baseball, and that's why we love the game, because it's so true that you don't know what you're going to see anytime you pull up to a ballpark.
You know who says that all the time is the guys who call every game and have seen it all. They ain't seen it all yet.
No,
they've seen a lot, but they ain't seen it all.
Yeah, you just see so many different things, and you may see the same thing a million times in a row, and on the millionth and 1st time that you see it, it's different. And that's such a great thing about the game. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Giants and the Cubs were playing Monday, I guess, right? And player hits a ball to short right field. The second baseman of the Giants back into short right, grabs the ball, fires it back into the infield. They get one out. And the infielder there fires it to third base, and the Cubs realize, including their brand new gazillion-dollar payer, Bregman, realizes that there's two people here, and in baseball, two's a crowd.
That can't be. Sorry, you're both out.
So no. One was out. Bregman was out, and then the guy who was left wasn't paying attention, so he sauntered off the base. And while he was sauntering, the third baseman,
Chapman,
Chapman, tagged him alertly. Just a little soft tag, and that made out number 3.
I should have told you I had the ball, but I felt that I'd wait a little while Put some mystery into the story.
Well, with everything going on, Chapman didn't want to deliver the ball somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be. So he held on to it until he felt it was the right time to do something with it. When he saw the opportunity crossed with stupidity, third base coach was looking into the stands. I guess his girlfriend or something must have been up there.
He was going to get a hot link.
Yeah, he
Hot
was
dog, hot
he was
dog.
thinking it's what's the big treat, spring training treat at Scottsdale? I think the game was. It's garlic fries. Am I correct in that?
I've never been to Scottsdale for baseball.
Oh, okay. They used to. Well, it used to be for many, 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 many years. Don and Charlie's catered and delivered food to Scottsdale Stadium for the Giants, and they sold garlic fries and stuff at Scottsdale Stadium.
And who would get up first to get the kitchen going, Don or Charlie?
I think they had one of their kids do it, to be honest with you, because they had been otherwise occupied the night before collecting memorabilia. As anybody who been to Don and Charlie's knew what that was. Somewhere in my stuff, I still have my Don and Charlie sweatshirt, which is, I'm thinking by this point, become a collector's item, if not a status symbol among people that go to spring training in Arizona, just like the T-shirt of the Lorelei is for people that go to spring training in Florida. Lorelei was the bar that Davy Johnson owned and was a place that people would go to and drive to in Florida
get the right kind of drink. To get a drink a little something special.
You could, I don't know. I can't order the same drinks. I'm not a big into it, but I know there was a lot of cut up fruit moving around. Now, the mojito is the big drink in Arizona. It used to be the prickly pear margarita, and then somewhere it switched over to mojito. I was more of a big fan of the prickly pear margarita.
You can probably still get one.
Yeah, those prickly pear margaritas, whether you have them with or without alcohol, are still quality drinks.
Because the pear is still prickly no matter what.
Well, you know what it does is it's a drink that makes you happy. The presentation makes you happy. The what do you call it? The presentation of the drink makes you happy. The alcohol, if you get it with alcohol, makes you happy.
The afterglow.
Yeah, the afterglow, the sitting around with those, and plus you get a buffet meal after it with the fruit.
And someone told me that you spend the rest of the day trying to get that high, or just like you do on the first drink. You can't recreate it.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But I guess any mind-altering substance is never as good as you first take it, right?
Never.
I mean, that first drink is maybe with alcohol that isn't true, because I think as you get, as you get drunker, or as you start to drink more, if you do it in moderation, you experience that kind of.
Now you're just being silly.
Stepping up to it. But yes, when it feels that good, who does it in moderation? And therein lies the problem for so many people, myself included. Is it just that, there's no real moderation in it. Once you start,
you feel like the third base coach for the Cubs.
Yes, you're confused.
I was going to get my Don and Gino sweatshirt. Now I got nothing over here. Not even a runner.
Walking back to the dugout, you wonder, do I still have a job?
Yeah.
That becomes your main focus. Do I still, in fact, have a job after something like that? So anyway,
maybe you noticed you had two runners at third base. Why did you have two runners at third base and they're both out? What the hell's wrong with you? One ran into it and one stood around and got tagged out.
You shouldn't have had that situation. You should have been there and helping them figure out what was going on, but you did neither. You seem to be of no help to anybody. Why do we even have you standing out there? At least when Wendell Kim was doing the job, he looked funny being out there. A little
He
guy.
looked busy. He had his hands on his knees. He looked busy.
Yeah, he looked like he was doing something. Joe Pignatano when he was out there, he was giving gardening tips to people in the third base side.
Salty Parker explaining where his nickname came from. Why do they call you Salty? I'll tell you if this guy's safe.
Yeah, I'm salty. That's why. People had a Wes Westrom. Was helping Casey out with the game. Former catcher, became the manager. Probably never got the credit that he was supposed to get or should have gotten in the Mets hierarchy, because he kind of was there when things started to turn around a little bit for the Mets. Took him a couple of years, but any franchise that drafted Seaver was gonna turn around for him.
Turn around, sit back down.
So anyway, beautiful baseball moments, and the Giants actually, from what I've seen, and I haven't seen all of their games, look pretty decent.
Looks like they want to play ball.
Well, they look motivated. Hopefully they are. The Mariners look motivated. I like the Mariners. I like the moves they made. I think that having the big kid at first base in for the whole season and ready to go. He brings, I said this last year, he brings an edge to the team. He's a big kid that wants to play baseball.
Get out of the way. Coming through.
Yeah, he's just a big, lumbering guy that wants to play baseball and he wants to be a presence. And he can hit the ball. Nothing wrong with that.
And that's how you start these things, as I understand the game. You got to hit the ball to get going.
Well, you don't have to, but it becomes extremely difficult if you don't. Because we have seen people who have lost no-hitters 1-0 because they either walked in a run or on an error. So you don't necessarily have to hit the ball. You can accomplish it, which is one of the oddities of the game, is you could actually
it'll break your heart.
Yeah, you could win a game without ever hitting the ball. Extremely unlikely. Even more.
I got a baseball story for you. My 7-year-old grandson had a George Brett moment. The umpire said his bat was illegal. So he took a smaller bat from one of his friends and got a hit in the center field. That'll show him. This bat's not regulation for this league.
His bat was wrong.
Said the teenage umpire.
Right. So he got
use
a
the
bat from one of his friends.
Got a hit in the center field.
And got a hit. Well, that's
That's how you do it.
Did he come charging out of the dugout afterwards?
No.
Good.
That'll be for later.
Yeah. That would be that. Well, that's good. I mean, that's how you show them, right? That's what they always say on the television when you're watching the games for $129.99 a year. What used to be free, which we could start a whole show about. Actually, we could actually do a whole show every 3 days of
things that should be free, like air at the gas station.
No, not what should be free. What used to be free. So at one time in our lifetimes, which is, spans 70 plus years for both of us, this was free. Now you have to pay for this. And there are so many items that it would be a great show explaining the items and Well, I don't know if it'd be a great show, but it would be an educational show.
We never know if it's going to be great. We assume it's going to be fabulous. Not always
We
the case.
we think with the Mikey and Vinnie touch that it'll be something. Do we have something here or what?
See
Is
the
it
Shayna put him
something?
right there?
Yeah. He looked up for a second,
Yeah.
like he looked like he was feigning interest.
He said, "Air used to be free. Are you kidding me?"
Oh Lordy! You know what else used to be free, Michael?
Tell me.
The State of the Union address.
Well, it's God. It's a
It
hell of a
used to
tax
be
now.
free for people to just turn on their television set. Now you almost have to have cable to watch it, or streaming or something.
Just think of the networks that had something planned for the evening, and then they said, "Well, we'll just run the State of the Union, and then we'll go right into paid programming." Nope, you're going to be
Yeah,
on the
or
State of the
live.
Union for 2 hours.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel had to actually start taping his show while the speech was still going on
I
because
went
they had
shopping
an
and came
audience.
back.
I guess they only rented the room for an hour or so.
I went to Pavilions and got cat litter. Went to the Mexican restaurant, got food to go. Came home and the thing was still on. I didn't miss anything.
Well, you didn't miss anything if you would have sat in front of the television set either, except a bitter old man.
A strange old man.
Yeah, basically telling the United States of America to get off his lawn.
But that would be a statement, and his specialty is lying to people.
Well,
who would have believed when you were in 6th grade that you would live to see a president who just lies all day long, every day, to the people of America, who seem to be pretty well satisfied with it?
Well, yeah, who would ever believe that you would see a people of America that would accept those lies?
Willingly, hopefully. Lie more, lie again, lie some more. Lie about this, lie about that.
And laugh about them. And say it, well, oh, that's just, that's like the nurses saying, oh, that's just Richard, about Richard Speck when he was, leaving the apartment. Or when he was in jail having having a sex change operation. He kills women and then changes into a woman himself.
It was inevitable. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what you're going to do. What hopefully people will do is they'll see this for what it is, and the sycophants that are with him, and just vote them the hell out in November.
Goodbye.
I don't have faith that will happen because it's a long time before November, and we could get involved in wars and pestilence and disease and Bobby Kennedy and
Bobby Kennedy's now got an associate. They're talking to her today, asking her to be the Surgeon General. She doesn't believe in medicine. She doesn't believe in science. She doesn't believe in the future. She doesn't believe in viruses. She doesn't believe in having a shot. I don't know if she believes in penicillin, for that matter. She's the perfect candidate for the job.
Is she gonna get into the workout video with Bobby and Kid Rock?
Oh yeah, she's gonna wear those.
Put her in it.
Leg warmers.
Yeah. So, did you get a chance to watch the speech, or?
I watched the beginning and the end.
It truly was
a waste of time.
Well, I guess I don't want to call it a waste of time. You could, though. I mean, as you just did, you could. It depended. If you wanted to see what the destruction of our country looks like,
how we were going to do it,
who was going to be responsible for it, you could have very well considered it a great piece of instructional video on. I should buy that piece of land in Spain that I've been thinking about.
Don't act like this if you intend to have the democracy for another 250 years. Do not do what this guy's doing. Do not say what he says. Do not think what he's thinking, and do not support him like the people in the audience did last night. Up on their feet, clapping a lie.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was everything that Donald Trump is. It's a racist,
trashy, shallow.
It was racist. It was shallow. It had the feeling by the end that it devolved into a game show where we're handing out prizes.
He lost his edge. He's got to figure out how to take the methamphetamine so it lasts. Ask his sons. They were in the audience last night. They lasted longer than he did. Well, he's got to time his drugs.
Yeah, that was the same thing happened to Hitler.
That's true.
You know, once they bombed the pharmaceutical factories, he couldn't get his drugs anymore, and he had to send his doctor out looking for. Matter of fact, they took drugs out of the field supplies for the injured soldiers, so that Hitler could get his high. I wouldn't put it past Hegseth and any of his boys to do the same thing.
No, they make a monkey out of the people that they pretend to serve, just like they made a monkey out of the hockey team last night.
Yeah, I thought that was, you know, Michael, this is something. I've gone back and forth with a few of my friends about this. I mean, yeah, they could have not gone. They could have, but they had to know. I mean, I don't think that they were so innocent that they didn't know that they would be used as a political pawn. But it's hard for me to say that if I got an invitation to the White House, that I wouldn't go. I wouldn't want to see what goes on. I wouldn't want to
be part of it.
Look. Well, I wouldn't want to look at that historical building, that opportunity to be a part of history. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would shake the president's hand. I don't think I would, and I don't think I would act with. I would be civil because it's an honor. Because I don't represent the president. I represent.
I think I made the top 10 on SportsCenter.
I represent the people of the United States. I did not win this gold medal for you, you freaking rube. Oh, let me try it on. Which, again, you know what? When Ricky Henderson came back with his gold medal from the Olympics back in 2000, he had been part of the USA team that won gold. I tried it on. I asked him if I could hold it and try it on. So it's a very, that's something
you can't help it.
You can't help it. It's an Olympic gold medal.
And it's heavy.
But the way they were used as a pawn in a political
sideshow
fiasco for a bunch of people that would just they would try, these guys all love Trump. Now maybe they do, but I don't think they do. But maybe they do. But they were used.
Yeah.
And where was the call for the women's hockey team? Not many people may realize this. They won their gold as well.
They said no, thank you.
Right, but no, they got a call 2 or 3 days after. They didn't get a call from the president in their locker room. They didn't have Kash Patel there sucking down beers with them.
Yeah, he missed their game, didn't he? Guess he was refueling.
So, it's obvious that the administration does not hold women's sports or consider their winning the gold medal to be equal to what the men did. That's just a fact. As do many Americans don't believe that women's sports equals men's sports in professional sports in this country.
Though that hockey team for the women was something to observe. They were really something.
Yeah, I mean, and they have been for a while. When the men's hockey team was down in the dumper, it was the American women that were kind of carrying the load in that sport.
Were they down in the big dumper, or was it a medium-sized dumper?
I think it was a big dumper.
Yeah, I thought
But
so.
So I don't blame and don't. I'm not upset or not. I mean, listen, whether they go to the White House or not, I used to think differently. I remember when, who was it? Was it Griffey Jr. that didn't want to go? I forget. There was somebody that didn't want to go. No, it wasn't Griffey Jr. because they never won a championship. But there was some local athlete that didn't want to go to the White House for something. And I remember I thought it was kind of cheesy. I thought it was like, you go. If you get the invite, you go with your team. But this guy is such a clown. And he said so many things that people so disagree with. He said so many things that people find offensive, find rude, find
he's a
that
liar.
they wouldn't want to be associated with him. That why?
First and foremost, if he says it, it's wrong. It's a lie. It's an invention.
Yeah, he'd probably have you show up at Blair House instead of the White House.
Possibly.
Go sit with what's her name, the vice president's wife. Go sit with her for a little while. She'll want some tips from you on how to deliver a baby. I don't know. It's something that really, with all the other things that are going on, we probably shouldn't get that upset about any of it. It probably all doesn't mean anything. I think I think the other stuff, the Medal of Honors that were given out and the Purple Hearts and everything, I think that demeaned the award by giving it out in a game show atmosphere, in an atmosphere that was nothing but, look at me, I'm Trump.
Not the atmosphere that you would usually associate with that kind of an award.
Yeah, I mean, aren't those usually given out at the White House in a ceremony?
Well, Trump's little hand, he can't fasten the ribbon. I know how he feels.
So I don't know. I'm not as upset about the men's. I'm upset about the way that he insulted people during the speech and before the speech and after the speech. Mad about the way that that he didn't present anything to this country except one thing. There was one moment when I actually said, wow, he's really said something that I can get on board with.
Pray tell, what was that?
He's talking about members of Congress not being able to enrich themselves off of insider trading. And then I thought about it for a minute, and I says, yeah, because he wants to do all the insider trading. He doesn't want any of them to get any of the grift from it.
No deal for you. No deal. No soup for you.
So I don't know. I thought, that was something that, but the, the graphic descriptions of death.
That was weird. That was so odd.
Yeah, the continued
Do you think,
racism,
do
picking
you, do
out
you
a
think,
group of Somalians.
do you think that was scripted, all the blood and gore, or did he make that up?
You know what? It was probably Stephen Miller having a good day.
Good point. That's right up his alley.
Stephen Miller's laugh fest, laughing. Instead
Every
of
knock
ruining
is
all,
every night is crystal knock for Stephen Miller.
he only wishes. Uh, I thought that the whole, the 2-minute infomercial for Trump Med, whatever it is, .com,
Trump RX.
Trump RX.
There's how you get the lowest prices for medicine in the world. Trump RX. Unless I'm
Yeah,
wrong, he should have said. I think it's probably the lowest price. Could be the lowest price. Might be. Used to be. Who knows?
it's lower than what you used to paying. But where's the other shoe on that going to drop?
Well, the girl in the audience, it's his life, the medicine saved, still has to pay $400 for her medicine.
Yeah, and the continued battering of people who make a decision that they want to be a transex, that they want to change their sex. It's a continued
Top of mind.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, when I'm standing online at the supermarket and I'm seeing the numbers go up and I'm hearing people sighing because they can't afford to pay what the prices on some of the stuff, I don't hear them complaining about somebody wanting to be a transsexual or somebody wanting to live their life as a it's not affecting them. What is affecting them is the tariffs and the prices that you have to pay for goods, because he's decided that he doesn't want, that he wants to be king shit over over the world.
And he only got 4 members of the Supreme Court to show up. Only 4 made it.
Yeah, I would have been happy if none of them showed up.
Well, I think the Chief Justice has to be there, should be there.
After after the insult barrage that he laid out on him, I wouldn't have gone.
It's good to face your enemy like that in their robes, not their suits, not in their finery, not their churchy vest on Sunday, but their robes.
Yeah, I think they always do that, though, don't they?
Yep.
I think they're always in their robes.
Just like the guys in the military are all in their uniforms, dress unis with all the ribbons and all the bows and all their Venezuelan
campaign ribbons. Yeah.
We got that fishing boat, blew it right out of the water.
Yeah, and being proud of it. Yeah. Being proud of the fact that you killed people.
And willing to do it again.
Now, again, I don't have a problem with them going after hardcore drug dealers and people that have no problem killing people over drugs. But again, we haven't seen anything to show us that they were drug dealers. Have you seen any kind of proof?
It's all at the bottom of the Gulf of America.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen anything that says, well, this guy was doing that and that guy was doing this, and here's evidence. Here's the drugs. Here's the this. Here's the cash. Here's the that. No.
A couple of those boats were licensed to Miami, and we're sorry about that, but they were out there. What are you going to do? It's a boat. Got to go.
And the continued denigration of Somalis. Now, listen, I know that there are some bad people that operate out of a government that doesn't have laws, or that has some and disregards them, or where you can buy your way out of jail.
Just like our government.
But I'm saying to myself, wait a second. This, we have a similar system here. Maybe we don't have pirates that go out and rob people, but we certainly have shown a disrespect for law and order. and I just I thought it was a disaster. I thought the speech was a disaster.
It was a
On
joke. A
top of
joke
that,
on
no vision laid out for the country.
except we're going to
No,
win. I can't exactly tell you what, but we're going to win.
yeah, people come up to me and say, "Oh, we're winning so much. We're so sick. I mean, we're so sick. We don't want to win anymore. We're so sick of it." I mean, come the fuck on. Just come on.
That is a ridiculous assertion.
Stop. I- as my uncle used to say, kiss me when you know. It's I don't know. I shouldn't have watched any of it. I watched what I watched. I can't wait till this guy is gone. His voice grates on me. His mere presence grates on me.
His sing-song voice really does put you to sleep, but not to sleep so much as put you in a strange mood where you wish you were asleep, or you wish you were in another room, or wish you were in another world.
Just I just get discouraged because I just see at least the one bright spot is that at least I see people more and more looking at him and saying that he's full of shit. Now, none of them seem to be members of Congress, although a few of them are.
Not many were in the room last night, I'll say.
But the smirks on the face of J.D. Vance and that little twit that is
Mark
the
Johnson.
Speaker of the House, that
He's
disgusting
nebbish.
slime ball.
Little nebbish.
Yeah, it's something has to happen. Something has to, and again, hopefully it will happen this November.
Naturally.
And his continued assertion that elections are fixed and that the Democrats, if the elections are fixed, how did you win? If the Democrats are fixing the elections, how the hell did you win?
It's an interesting point you bring up there.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a fix.
And what it does is it sows, and it's exactly what he wants to do. He sows mistrust in the rule of law, mistrust in the
simple regulated process of voting.
Oh yeah, what's supposed to be the thing that sets us apart from everybody else, that we have free and fair elections, and that anybody can run in those elections.
How about the idea that we are a nation of law, but we all suddenly don't believe in science or medicine or treatments or even injections?
It defies logic. The whole presidency defies logic. We have been taken over by an autocratic ruler who
the Wizard of Oz
wants to see everything his way, who will not listen to opposing opinions, will not consider opposing opinions, who knows more about everything than anybody else knows about, and who will lie and tell you the same lies that you heard from, that you hear from con men on 42nd Street behind a 3-card Monte.
And his constant phrasing that this never happened before. This is the best it's ever been. This is the top of the line.
Does he think people are like him and they don't remember?
Yes. Because he doesn't remember them not remembering. As I remember, we're good, right? No, Mr. President. No, we're not good. We are not good. You're just about done. I thought he looked much older last night than I have seen him recently. And I made a comment on your web page about his mouth. His mouth was not at rest and normal the way we've seen it in the past. There was something odd about the way he was holding his lips, and that sustained through the entire speech.
Maybe it was AI. Maybe that really wasn't him up there.
You know, J.D. Vance, his resting expression is anger. He's got a scowl on his face. Little Mike Johnson doesn't know what's going on, so he's happy. Hey, this is great. What's going on?
Yeah, he's a cross between I can't wait to get you out, old man, and pistivity, to quote our friend Rod Long, pistivity at the world. He's mad at the world. He feels like he didn't get his due.
Well, his grandmother was called Mima. Now, that's a problem. That's going to stay with you for life. How can you shake that? How do you overcome that? How do you get beyond it?
Well, listen, I give him a lot of credit. He's one of the few people in that part of the world that know who their Mima and their Papa is.
Well, he's taking a while. He's taking a while to guess, but I have to go with him on that. In the world of Mima, what are you going to do?
And again, the whole thing about using the people who were injured or killed because he sent them into a situation where they didn't belong in.
Did you see the look on that Marine's face, the guy who was standing up with the walker? He was not a happy camper.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of award they gave him.
It's sad. It's sad because, he never mentions that those people wouldn't have been killed, wouldn't have been injured if you didn't send troops into Washington. Didn't send troops into Los Angeles.
He's a whim. He rules by whim. I don't know what I'm going to do today. Did you hear that he sent the hospital ship to Greenland? But then they told him, the hospital ship's not in the water. It's in dry dock. Well, when it's ready, send it along. Why? I can't remember why. That was yesterday. Next case.
Yeah. And what was it? Not the governor of Greenland. What do they have? They have something like a viscount, a viscount, a viceroy, or
representing
the limb, or something like that.
Representing the government of Denmark.
Yeah, and he said, "Well, we don't need a hospital ship here. We have hospitals.
We have universal health care."
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense what he's saying. Doesn't make any sense what he's talking about.
Well, the fact checking that CNN did on their front page for the whole speech was one correction after the other. Every figure that he quoted, every assertion that he made, every conclusion that he came to, every one of them was wrong. Purposefully lying to the American people to make his speech go without any bumps. No bumps, no grinds, no show. And he pulled it off. Nobody seemed to care that he was lying to them. They were standing and applauding one lie after the other. Happy to be there. Excited to think about the post-game meal. Do we get sandwiches after this? Yeah, but you got to go to get them. You got to pick them up yourself. In the mess.
Did
they include drinks? No, you got to pay for your drinks.
Got to pay for your own drink, yeah. And I'm a guy that loves to take a selfie with people. I mean, it's, the selfie is the new autograph. It won't be valuable as an autograph is in, 100 years or something. But the selfie is the new record that you met somebody.
The way he was posing, they're unusable. All the photos I saw him take were unusable.
Well, that's it. I mean, first of all, he's pushing the person out of the way that he's taking the selfie with. So it's a picture of him. It's not a selfie.
You thought it was going to be a selfie. It's a Mimi.
It's a me. Number one. Number two, I think it's so undignified that
Yeah.
that when it, that when you're leaving the president of the United States is stopping for selfies with people. I mean, that's supposed to be a serious delivery of a. Now, if you do it afterwards, I guess I don't mind it so much. But get in there and give your speech. Get in there
Well,
and you're there for business.
his favorite part is before the speech, people just applaud. He doesn't have to say anything and then to do anything. They just applaud and they applaud and they applaud and they clap and they clap. And he loves that. That's reassuring. It makes him feel like he's the president.
And it was it was just a horrible, again, nothing that made me stand up except for the insider trading thing. Nothing that made me feel like he was working toward any iota of bringing the country together. You were the president of the most divided that this country has been since the mid-1800s. You're on the verge
The Civil War.
I don't want to say that because I don't know we're on the verge of civil war, but you're on the verge of some serious stuff. People inject politics into everything. They argue about everything. Did he say anything about controlling social media?
Did he say anything about the Epstein files?
Did he say anything about the Epstein files? Did he say anything about the obscene profits that some people are making? Did he say anything about delivering relief for the middle class who are struggling so mightily?
He just lied and said the prices have come down. They used to be expensive. Now they're not. That's wonderful. Next case. What do you want to know? How did I do it? Magic. I went to Wharton.
The hell if I know how I did it.
I didn't do anything. I was getting ready to do it. I was getting ready to really make the prices go down, but they just went down. So I let it go.
The only thing that I think the only thing that I think he said also that was, that people could get on board with is that one part where he said, and I'm reading the quote now, the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Now, I agree with that, except aren't the people that you're sweeping up in these ICE raids some American citizens too? How are you protecting them?
By operating without a warrant, and the crew that does the sweeping is masked and driving in an unmarked car and untrained and overarmed. And if they should kill somebody in the execution of their duties, forgive the term, that's it. Game's over for that guy, but there's not going to be any prosecution. There's not going to be no one's going to get their comeuppance. No one has to face the law. No one has to say, wait a minute, you killed the guy on the street. Now what? Now we load up. We get ready for the next one. We're not done. The idea of dead people in the street is a concept that we're just getting the American people used to. There'll be more.
You murdered your department that you're directly responsible for. You and that I think Jimmy Kimmel had a great line last night. He said the speech was so long and boring that Christy Noem's dog shot itself.
The dog has got standards. The dog cannot be twisted into sustaining an entire evening of Donald Trump's voice.
I mean, those people are citizens too that you killed. Don't look now, but both of them were citizens. Didn't they have a right for you to protect them as well? Didn't they have a right to be protected? Didn't they have a right to go home to their families that night?
Didn't they have a right to go to Italy and see the final game with Canada and USA? Shouldn't they have gone with Kash Patel?
No, that's a whole nother. That doesn't even make the hit list. That's such a joke and such a bad reflection that doesn't even make the hit list.
Where it is making an effect, Vinny, is the FBI itself. The rank and file, even the Republican rank and file, and many of the FBI has always been famous for being mostly a Republican organization. And their conclusion is that Kash Patel is a bad leader with no concern for how things are done and is operating in the gray area, just like the Justice Department. So the FBI is not the FBI anymore. It's an arm of Trump Incorporated. And the Department of Justice is not the Department of Justice anymore. It is the extension of Donald Trump's wishes and needs and demands. And those people have damaged the structure of our rule of law, perhaps to the point where we can't fix it in a generation.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you. I'm not around the FBI, so I don't know, but I would have to imagine that the morale around the FBI, unless you're one of these, people with a chip on your shoulder about a certain group or certain, is got to be really tough. It's got to be tough to be an FBI agent these days.
Yeah.
Maybe if J. Edgar Hoover sees this stuff and he rolls in his grave. Although I don't know, man. As a maybe he thinks that. Well, first of all, he would never be on board with Patel as the FBI director because he doesn't dress up funny. Well, we don't know if he does.
Doesn't look good in the Vera Wang.
Yeah. I thought the speech was it you know what? Instead of looking at what was great about America, it was 2 hours of what's great about Donald Trump.
And a lot of baloney.
With awards that he can't attain, given out at the end to other people that did attain them, and giving out in an arena that shortchanged them of their due and proper respect for getting those awards. It was given out in an atmosphere of partisanship,
a cheap circus,
an atmosphere of jingoism. I mean, how many times do we just hear USA, USA, USA? I mean, except for the hockey team, that's not a place where that's, I don't know. The message of the speech seemed to be everything is great in America.
Everything's in play.
Everything is wonderful in America. And just in case
we're hot,
he hasn't spoken to anybody out of his inner circle, everything is not good in America. Everything is not right in America. America needs fixing. And he certainly is not the person that is going to fix it. I don't know if the person that's going to fix it was sitting in that room last night. But there's a lot of work to be done here. America has become a fixer-upper. It needs some help. All of the jobs that he promised that are coming, and all the manufacturing, it's not coming. Ford last week moved their plant that they were going to build here to Canada. Because they are sure in Canada what the laws are going to be. They don't know what the law is going to be here.
They don't know what their product has to. They don't know what price to put on their next Ford F-150 or the Mustang SUV. They think they know what the cost is, but it could be 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 5,000, 15% difference no matter what. And if the Prime Minister of Canada gets in Trump's face again, he's just going to raise the price from the Oval Office. And there's no one willing or able to stop him.
I live in a community where there are a fair number of Somalians, refugees that came here and are trying to find a better life for themselves and their families.
Currently in Washington.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're here in Edmonds. There's a sizable Somali community here.
Mhm.
Hardworking people that go to work each day. They have small businesses. They clean houses. They wash and detail cars. They do work around people's houses. They are out every day hustling for a buck.
They're part of the workforce.
They're part of the workforce. And they do it under an atmosphere of not knowing if when they leave the house that they're coming back, which incidentally was kind of the reason they left Somalia.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know if when they left the house they were coming back.
A lot of uncertainties there as well.
And the way he debased that group of people. Now, I don't know, maybe I know one or two of them, but when a driver brings you food to the house on Uber Eats, you got a better than 50% chance he's going to be a Somalian. When you go to a service business here, you got a better than 50% chance that a Somalian is going to be working for the people, if not the owner of the business that gives you the service. Jobs that, let's face it, educated white people don't want to do anymore. They don't want to clean sewers. They don't want to climb up on gutters and clean gutters. They don't want to do a lot of things.
They don't want to deliver a dick special.
That Somalia is the Somalians will gladly do because they're proud to be here. They're happy to be here. All they want is a chance.
And they probably don't understand why we resent the fact that they've come to add their work to the tapestry of the neighborhood, the tapestry of Washington State. The future of the strength of Washington is based just as much on their success as anyone else's.
Yeah. And they're continually debased by this president who has a criminal record himself.
He'll sell you a booking picture T-shirt.
Who is a guy that's been convicted of crimes? Who is a guy that has been convicted of not convicted, but found liable for rape? This guy's got no room to talk about anybody else. But yet, there are people who go along with him.
He knows, Vinnie, the part of the scheme is you've got to have an enemy. You've got to have a target. You've got to have someone to blame it on.
If you
blames it on Joe Biden and the Somalis.
Yeah. I mean, how many times did he mention Joe Biden last night? Everything's Joe Biden's fault. On one hand, you say that sleepy Joe Biden, he couldn't get out of his way. He didn't do anything for the country. And on the other hand, you single-handedly, or you say that he single-handedly destroyed the country. Which is?
There's another example of which is it, and that is Iran's nuclear capabilities have been obliterated, and their entire system of manufacturing nuclear weapons is gone, obliterated. And now they're saying that they can make a bomb within a week. With the re-obliteration of their nuclear program, they're 1 week away from making a bomb. And that's why we have the great Navy presence in the Gulf of Straits of Hormuz and the Gulf of Arabia because of the threat we pose to their continued development of nuclear weapons. Either they have been obliterated and they can't do it anymore and won't do it anymore and should never, they can't even find their tools to start again, or we didn't obliterate their program. It's intact and they are a week away from making a bomb.
Yeah.
It can't be both.
Yeah, it's a whole. On one hand, where is what he said? There's where is he talked about $18 trillion in foreign investment.
Going to trickle in from all over the world.
Right. But he wants to stifle foreign investment, stifle foreign products from coming into this country. He wants to revive American industry. But most of what he's doing, I'm not going to say all of it, but most of what he's doing is turning away people. Saying don't.
Stopping trade, charging tariffs.
We don't really want your money. Or worse, we want your money, but we don't want you.
We don't want your rights. We don't want your cars. We don't want your food. We don't want your product, even though we need it. I'm the president. I'm saying we don't want it. We don't want it anymore. You've been screwing us anyway. It turns out that I don't know the exact details, but somehow you were monkeying with the American people. Your product was costing too much. So now I'm putting a tariff on it. It's going to cost more, and that'll solve the problem. None of his solutions hold water. None of them make sense. None of them are logical. None of them are being used by other countries to solve their trade problems or their money for the trade imbalance. None of that makes sense. None of that works. None of that is a solution. It's a silly tariff that only a simple-minded person like Donald Trump would even suggest would be the solution to our financial shortcomings.
Well, he alone feels like he can fix it. He's the only one that can come up with solutions, and all of the solutions that he has come up with to anything have been abject failures. And to be honest with you, what has he solved? No agenda, no moving forward.
And this medical plan where he's going to give you the money and you can buy your own medical insurance, when's that going to kick in? And where's he going to give you the money? And how's he going to get the cash to you? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It flies in the face of logic, and it flies in the face of what you know is not coming. You know he's not going to give you a check. You know you're not going to buy your own insurance. You know he's not going to solve the medical problems that we face and the medical coverage shortcomings that we are experiencing by anything that is a result of his plan. His plan is non-existent. It's just a joke. That's the hoax. That's the hoax he keeps talking about. That's it.
He is so bent on having some kind of successful healthcare or medicine with his name on it, because every time he hears the word Obamacare, it chafes him. It pisses him off. It
makes his hands look smaller.
Yeah, more and more. It pisses him off. And
also the word Epstein is going to be top of mind this week as this document that's been referred to can't be found, but it's in the files there somewhere. And it specifically says that Donald Trump is a rapist. Donald Trump was a participant in the Epstein ongoing scheme to traffic sex minors. And this week's not going to finish until we know more about that. We should see the details this week. We should see them and be able to read them and decide for ourselves what his responsibility is as the accused.
I still think that they're going to
And
get
physical abuse.
lost.
Sexual
I still think that we won't see him, but we'll see what we see. The most telling sign of the whole damn thing was when everybody in the place, except for the Democrats, stood up to give Donald Trump a standing ovation. Did you notice who the two people were that took a little while to do it? His wife and his son.
Oh,
Took longer than anybody else in that building, except for the Democrats, to stand up. They had to think about it.
actually, I feel for that kid. I don't know why. Maybe I shouldn't, but
I don't know him, and I haven't read enough about him to know what kind of kid he is. It must be a horrible thing to have to grow up with that as your father. Just one more thing, and then I think we'll call it. What about Al Green?
Al didn't want to be there. He knew how he could get a quick ticket out, and he. I don't know who the Republican was that tried to take his sign away. I don't know if you saw that, but Al was not having that.
No, Al ready. Al came ready to fight, and it seems like he must have it. You know, last year he raised his cane, right? Wasn't it his cane? He was marching all around. Kudos to him. Kudos to him for standing up for what he believes in. He didn't miss anything.
And I love your song. I'm so tired of being alone.
Yeah, yeah. Take me to the river. Yes, Representative Al Green. Thank you. Thank you for saying what shouldn't need to be said. But yet we continue to need reminders in this country of it. That you don't that these are people too. It seems to get lost in everything that goes on here. That these immigrants, these people are people too. We have Donald Trump has debased these people to less than human. Not just immigrants, minorities, Black people, Native Americans. Unless you can throw a ball, unless you can catch a ball, unless you can run fast, unless you are his kind of person, you are not equal to the task of being a human being if you're a white person, if you're a person of color.
And my last comment will be Steve Ballmer will be a good owner of the Seahawks. Sell it to him. He's got the dough. Make the deal.
Let's hope. You know what? Yeah, and maybe we'll jump into that a little bit more on Friday if we're not in a shooting war with Iran. Out of all the solutions so far, that would be not a bad one. That would be one that would have I think have a good outcome. Because let's face it, they don't need a third team in Los Angeles.
No, I don't think the league would be wise in entertaining a move. I think Ballmer knows how to. He's done it. He put the Clippers on the map. He built them a new stadium. He constructed a new ownership group. He brought in top players. He is enthusiastic and supportive of this team. And I think he would be a benevolent owner for the Seahawks.
I think he's the best of the solutions that I have seen so far. Now, maybe there's other people out there that I don't know about. There's some other people on the east side.
And you need a billionaire to do it, and a successful billionaire has got plenty of billions. That's what he's got, and that's how he can
Right.
get the job done.
Right. You need you know, now there's questions about, well, if he overpays for this franchise or whatever, will it raise the value of the franchises? Will it put the NFL out of reach for a lot of people?
Well,
Probably going to get there anyway.
They didn't worry about the NBA being out of reach. He paid $2 billion for the Clippers. Now, if you buy a basketball team, you're paying $4 billion, $6 billion.
It's play money to these guys. It really is. It's monopoly money to these guys. But they don't get those billions without knowing how to spend the millions. So it would be, it'll be, and let's talk about that more on Friday, because it could be, and I think the best of the scenarios I've seen out there so far. It's early.
Well, then it'll be a Freaky Fractious Friday, and I'll join you then. We'll have a update on Vinnie, what Vinnie's driving, and the car show for Saturday morning at 11 o'clock.
And hopefully we won't be
at war. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah, hopefully we won't be at war with anybody.
See if we can do it without being at war. Yeah, it's a good effort.
Let's hope it. Let's hope it.
Let's see if we can get through the rest of the day without being at war too.
Yeah, Mikey, good to see you, man. Good show. I'll see you on Friday if the Lord's willing. And the creek don't rise. Until then, my friend, peace, love, and Manischewitz, baby.
What a wine. Have a little. It's sweet, but have